Psalm 65 is a hymn of praise to God for His abundant blessings, particularly His provision for the earth and its inhabitants. The psalmist begins by acknowledging God's righteousness and the privilege of being able to approach Him in worship. He reflects on the goodness of God's chosen dwelling place, expressing gratitude for the privilege of being in His presence. The psalmist reflects on God's power and sovereignty over creation, describing how He calms the roaring seas and stills the tumult of the nations. He acknowledges God's control over the forces of nature, expressing awe at His ability to provide for the needs of all living creatures. In the midst of his reflection, the psalmist expresses his gratitude for God's provision for the earth. He describes how God enriches the land with water and prepares it for planting, ensuring that it yields a plentiful harvest. The psalmist affirms his trust in God's faithfulness and His ability to provide for the needs of His people. The psalm concludes with a declaration of praise and thanksgiving to God. The psalmist affirms his trust in God's provision and expresses his gratitude for His mercy and provision. He resolves to continue praising God and trusting in His unfailing love, confident that He will answer his prayers and grant him victory over his enemies. Psalm 65 serves as a reminder of the importance of acknowledging God's sovereignty over creation and expressing gratitude for His abundant blessings. Let's now read Psalms chapter 65. To the chief musician, a psalm and song of David, praise waiteth for thee, O God, in Sion, and unto thee shall the vow be performed. O thou that hearest prayer, unto thee shall all flesh come. Iniquities prevail against me, as for our transgressions, thou shalt purge them away. Blessed is the man whom thou choosest, and causest to approach unto thee, that he may dwell in thy courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of thy house, even of thy holy temple. By terrible things and righteousness wilt thou answer us, O God of our salvation, who art the confidence of all the ends of the earth, and of them that are afar off upon the sea. Which by His strength setteth fast the mountains, being girded with power. Which stilleth the noise of the seas, the noise of their waves, and the tumult of the people. They also that dwell in the uttermost parts are afraid of thy tokens. Thou makest the outgoings of the morning and evening to rejoice. Thou visitest the earth, and waterest it. Thou greatly enrichest it with the river of God, which is full of water. Thou preparest them corn, when thou hast so provided for it. Thou waterest the ridges thereof abundantly, thou settlest the furrows thereof, thou makest it soft with showers, thou blessest the springing thereof. Thou crownest the year with thy goodness, and thy paths drop fatness. They drop upon the pastures of the wilderness, and the little hills rejoice on every side. The pastures are clothed with flocks, the valleys also are covered over with corn. They shout for joy, they also sing. This ends our reading of Psalms chapter 65.